Hello and welcome back. Where is music? I think maybe I should disable my music. There is music. There is no music. There you go. Feels wrong. Feels very wrong. I don't know, I just somebody joined so I'll talk about it. Chat. Die. Refresh. There we go. Whoa. There's a person. Hello. eh. I'm derping hard. That's the chat. There it is. I should have gotten stuff happening well before I currently have, and yet I still haven't. So, where the heck was I up to? Bevel gears. That's the next step. There's the other one. There it is. Okay. So I remembered why things were the way they were with things. So that's nice. I know why it's all bent up like this and that sort of a way in this sort of a thing. Because reasons. Turn down my music. What do you think? Should I have music on or should I not have music on? I don't know anymore. I suppose if I don't have music. Nope. It's my own chatbot thing that I created. It doesn't have all the fancy features of the generic one people use. Just, whoa, that was not meant to happen. Okay. Oh god, what's going on? I spammed the next button and it glitched out. I don't know, do you think I should have music on? Or should I not worry about it? It's got a lot of talky songs right now. Yeah, I mean, if there's not music, then you can play your own music. And if there is music, then I just get lots of copyright things on YouTube because it's music. Pretty much every single song seems to be triggering that thing. Some a heck of a lot more than most, than others. I suppose if I don't do that, then I don't need these thingies here. Anyway. Yeah, so I think I got a better idea of how to make this work. It's just a really weird thing. So basically I got to get gears to mesh together that don't. So if I could figure out the formula for that thing, then I could have these things working almost perfectly. Or perfectly? Almost perfectly. It'll still require a bit of offset because it sort of spins. Yeah. You can imagine these two gears just laying flat next to each other, and the entire thing is just slices. So you've got that diameter and that diameter. And then, yeah, those are two diameters that don't quite fit together because one's tapering a whole heck of a lot more than the other one. Which means these are two ratios that don't work. So to account for that, you've got to add more backslash to the gear. Make these gaps bigger and these parts smaller. Like this part of the gear and that part of the gear. Just this one gear. And that's how it all fits together. Except if you imagine them laying sideways, when they turn, they're also twisting. Like, you know, that sort of a thing. So you've got to have a little bit extra, because the slices underneath start going up through the layers or down through the layers. I don't know. And before any of that, I got to recode everything. So all I really need is just that. Undo, yeah. So if I grab that, hide, oh damn it, vertices. Yeah, that's all I want to create. Just that one wedge, and then I can copy that around. Oh god, is that complicated. To create that one wedge, I need these vertices to be on the end of the index. Well, one side of this to be on the end of the index. But that includes this one and that one. The side slice is easy enough, but yeah, that and this is not at all. So I'm going to have to redo the code for those two, I guess, which is easy enough. It just makes things so messy. I can have efficient code, I can have easy to read code, or I can have easy to add to code. I can't have all three at once. I can barely have two at once. That's the problem. This is making it only one of them at a time. Because each one of these steps has to have a different... Yeah. Okay. I mean, that would be even better, actually, if I didn't have any of that. That would be the most simplest form that I can have. And then I mirror, and then I array. Sounds easy. But to have this, I need all of these vertices to be on one end. So it needs to start with that row, and end with this row. No, because that needs to be a mirror. Damn it. It copies it across, but it keeps the vertex order the same. So it starts with these ones, so the end I want to remove is in the middle. Unless... No. So I'd have to start with that row. And end with this row. No, I can't. Because I have to delete this row on the mirrored side, otherwise you got double vertices down the middle. You can't do that because it offsets the index ordering. Unless they're just not copied in the first place. Which would still offset the index ordering, but only in the saved information, not the actual index itself. So when I copy things across and do whatever, I just need to know it's mirrored minus that removed part. Which is still efficient. And that being the first lot of vertices means when I array... No. No, it has to be the last. It can only be the last. Oh wait, no, yeah. No. Yeah, no. So if it was mirrored, like mirror the order and mirror the thing, then it does the... Oh, this is such a pain. How do I do the do-do? Why do I feel like I just lost a subscriber? Follower. The first time I did it, I just literally regenerated this top part again and again and again and again. But that made it take over like 5 minutes to make a gear with 100 teeth. That wasn't even a tapered one. Oh boy. Although I don't think I had the condition for it, so whatever. What do I do? Do I just not care and have it less efficient, take more time? I feel like if I want to sell this, I gotta do it efficiently. So... Right, and now I'm feeling it's sort of doing this. It doesn't quite work though, does it? Because that edge loop doesn't... Yeah, something else. I'm trying to make a gear generator. Where'd the everything else go? So, yeah, I'll try to generate gears like this with code. These were generated with my old code, but the old code didn't do this infill thing on the top, which was really annoying and took a couple of hours to fill in all of the gears. So I want to generate it with code so I can just push a button. And, you know, I was really annoyed at how many hours that took, so now I've spent about 4 months trying to do this thing, because I'm going very, very slow. It's very annoying to code. Yeah, I got a 3D printer, because I'm assuming you haven't been here a long, long time, if you're asking about that. So yeah, I've been testing this stuff, 3D printing, because I want to print this thing out. Mechanical tic-tac-toe, if you've ever heard about that. I can explain it if you like. Yeah, that's just made to test gears with. I made it a bit wrong, I don't have enough tolerance in these areas, so you can't really put a gear in. This part all worked fine, although I forgot to print that, so that was annoying. Everything else is good. Learned a lot about tolerances and stuff. I haven't messed with that in a long time now. I should have a tab around here somewhere or other with the last good version of it. Yeah, art and UI is when my projects go to die, as always. Chances are last time you saw me doing it was the last time I was doing it. Over here, there it is. If this doesn't crash my computer, because no, it should be fine. I had a graphics card problem, but that graphics card's dead now, so. I haven't actually tried this with this graphics card, just this graphics card. Maybe it runs a whole lot better because it was running on the bad one the entire time. And chances are it probably was only breaking when it ran on the bad one. Anyway. Wow, I got a lot of people joining today. It's unheard of. So yeah, I updated it with all the texture streaming stuff from the older versions. I'm sliding. I was starting to mess around, adding more content stuff, like I had a big bridge thing here, and I removed that. If you ever saw this project, I could explain the whole thing from the beginning if you want to hear about it. But yeah. Art new eyes when my projects go to die, so... That was that. Oh, the lag. Yeah. Yeah, but as I said, art and UI. I got a lot of theories about a lot of things. I could literally spend a couple of hours explaining all the different aspects of the thing and where I was going with it, and it's really hard not to if I even start. But let me know if you want me to do that. You know, maybe it might motivate me to do some more, but I got this fancy 3D printer and I really want to do more with it because it costed a lot. And it's really awesome. Yeah. But if you hadn't heard about this project at all, let me just turn down my music. Wait, just turn down my volume. Yeah, this one was a city builder that you build cities on floating islands because the poly count limit of my game engine only can handle about 1,000 faces per frame. I got a few ideas of things that could optimize that, which I just can't be bothered doing it because I don't feel like doing the project anymore. Or really anything at all, generally, but, yeah. I haven't forgotten it yet, so when I go back, eventually, one day maybe, I'll be able to do it. Yeah, I got like a sunset thingy that happens. Dynamically generated sky, which is totally dynamically generated now, although it's a little bit wrong. Not in the way anybody would really ever notice. Yeah, well, I need somebody to help with it. That's the same with any other project I do. And nobody really gives a damn, so... Nobody with the ability to help, anyway. But yeah, the idea was it was going to be... Because of the poly count, you can't really see that far, so it was going to be set on islands in the sky to explain distance fog. It's more about art, is the thing I need help with. I can do all the code stuff easy enough, it just takes a really long time. But it's a lot more fun if I have something to create the code into, you know? Yeah. But if it doesn't look any good, nobody cares, and I always get to the same points, so I need help to get past those points. Yeah, so city in the sky, on islands, clouds all around, explains the distance fog, and yeah, each island will be different things. I got fancy normal map stuff going, so you can make it look exactly like how the 3D model would look from a distance, as long as you don't walk up around it and see it's just slideshows, basically. I could show an example of that if you wanted to see in a different project I was working on. But, yeah, so the other island would just be in the distance behind clouds, and it would just be a pre-rendered flat image, basically. And, yeah, it should look pretty convincing. It'd probably be somewhat noticeable, but whatever. There'll be a bridge going towards it, so you can go between the different sections. Anyway, this map was originally how you would build the new islands, so... I'll try to dig up the file in. Might be this one. I'm pretty sure I named it, though. What is this one? Is this the old one? I can shuffle my playlist again. Oh. Yeah, this is the one that freezes. It must be the old one. Okay. Factory. How do I do files again? Where's HTML? Me. You know what? I'll wait. Is that a problem? Interesting. That's something I'd never done before. Tried to go back a page while it was loading, and now it thinks it's speaking Danish. What here would be Danish? You may never know. Yeah, I'll wait till he gets back, because it does a whole dynamic loading thing, which is sort of cool. So where's I at with the gears? Okay. Thing I draw up. Where's my screenshotty thing? It is gone. Screenshot. Whoop. Okay. I'm writing this thing up for the bajillionth time. So that's the angle of the bevel of the gears. Oh god, no, it's so much more complicated. So much more complicated. How do I do this? With each one of them being slightly different. It is only an outside edge. So I could literally just grab that edge and move it in. It would mean I'd have to generate the top and the bottom part differently, though. That's the problem. I could sort of bypass that. No. No, I can't. Okay. I would have to loop through all of the stuff that's happening on the top here. And probably these things if I wanted nice distribution. So I'd have to loop through all of those vertices and then move them sideways by a percentage. I would also have the mirrored half that I'd have to do the exact same thing to, which is really annoying. Although technically I could just move one, get the thing, and then flip it over, but that would only work on one of them. This is already after the array before it starts doing depth stuff, so yeah. I definitely need to have it in this sort of a situation. Is there any way I can do it without mirroring first? It's that same problem. I need this to be the end of the index for the mirror to work, and then I need this to be the end of the index for the array to work. I believe the current way I have it is I just don't do this part. Yeah. So basically, if I just don't do that, I make this thing, have these as the end, so I can have those faces. I'd have to generate these faces as well as that edge. Yes. Oh, because now the index ordering's really weird. But that's the only way I could do it. Okay. So I create this without this edge. So I would have to create that. Then I could array this down. Grab this, move it on the bottom. Oh god, it's so much more work. And then once all that's done, I can add that center line back. Then I would have to grab all of that, mirror it to the other side, recreate these faces. No, add that edge, recreate the faces. Mirror it to the other side, recreate the faces again, connecting to the correct vertices. Then I would have to add the end things, which would be one on this side, one on that side. Then I could array it around, but those have to be the... Oh god, it's so much work. There must be a better way than this. It just requires like tripling the amount of code that I have. I don't like it. And each one's slightly different, so it has to all be custom. But what other way could I do? I mean, the other way I could do it is, like I said, so if I go through all of the top vertices, move them in, the other side, move them in, down the side, move them in. But it's after the array, so it doesn't work. I can't see any good way of doing this that makes it easy. It's all super complicated. That edge isn't sharp. Not that it matters. I guess that edge isn't sharp either. What? Why did I think it would be? Whatever. Okay, okay. Okay. Alternatives. I do the top, and I just regenerate that entire edge again and again and again. Uh, uh, I don't like that one either. No, it's the same edge. I'm just moving, I'm offsetting it every time. Okay. So this edge is already stored in memory. I could just grab that, move it down, spin it in or out. Technically half out, half in, whatever. But the yeah. It's those top ones. But no, this is after the array. It always messes up because after the array. Okay. A complete restructure of absolutely everything about how the data is stored. I ignore the array, and the array just gets compiled in the end. I create everything the way that I normally create stuff, using objects and instancing and things. That way a face can be a face regardless. I don't have to loop through the vertices if I remove an index. I mean, I don't have to loop through all of the faces if I remove an index to correct the index of everything that came after it. Because everything can just be an instance. Everything just has an ID. Okay. So that way, I literally just create a thing, copy it across, I select all of the faces down this edge, and I just say, no, I don't even do that. I would select all of the duplicate vertices down this edge, and I just give them the same ID as an already existing thing. And then I can just remove that ID from a total ID thing. And that's how I would weld joins, what seems, join, but remove duplicates. Nice and easy. Okay. Will be less efficient. Will be a little bit slower. But it's longer, it's quicker with everything. Because yeah, after that's done, I can just loop through the array of existing things and plonk them all into the... Because everything's got an ID. Yeah. So I just sort the... Okay, so I could loop through the list of IDs, because everyone should be unique, but that doesn't mean it's all consecutive indexing order. There could be gaps in it, which wouldn't work. So I could just loop through them all, give them each one an index at the end for where it would be in the array. That is its name now, plonk it all in. There you go, job done. Or I could create something that checks whenever you create a new vertex, it checks to see what the next available ID is. That way I can delete and add as required. But if I have to do that, then I'm already doing an efficient thing, so... It is what I'm familiar with. I can do it. Definitely requires a recode of everything from the ground up again, though. But I can do it in a slightly better way. Which was also the way it was previously before I changed it to the current way. Okay, anything else I'd want to change while I'm at it? I could add edge loops to it. Because that is a thing I want. I want to add marked sharps on these sharp edges. To do that, I need to know what these edges are, or at least the vertices, after the mesh has been generated. Huh. What? I hate it. Am I going to commit to this? Because it does mean recoding everything again for like the 5th time or something now. It is progress, perhaps? Like, I will be progressing, whether or not for the better or the worse. Because it would be very damn annoying if I had to come back to it and do it all again. I work out how to create the arrays of faces and junk. Like, because it seems like it should be simple enough. If I have this curve here and I have that curve there, then I can just say, I'll loop through it, add it all together. And then I can do that for as many times as there are these curves. So, you know, do it here on that one, that one, that one. Job done. When I mirror it across, I guess I don't really need to be doing the mirror thingy then. I still do, but I don't. It would probably be faster to do it that way, though. So I just continue that across. I could duplicate the vertices and stuff, because the way I did it before is I would just grab those already existing faces and then offset their vertice IDs by whatever IDs these are. But that's sort of irrelevant at this point, and they could be literally anything, because the order is whatever the heck it wants to be. So it would be better to not do that now. So that's very different. Yeah. So I could do all of that. Easy enough. I could create the extra edge thingy down here. And adjust it with all of its stuff. And do that down. And then just the same way as I filled across there, I can fill down here. Down there. Well, around there. Easy enough. Yeah. And at the end of all of that, I would have this. The bottom part. How would the bottom part work? Okay, so the bottom part sort of has to be created again from scratch the same way the top part was. So I could literally do that. It doesn't matter. Order is irrelevant now. That takes a lot of mental messing around to get working in my head. I'm so used to things being in order. Yeah, so I could literally just rerun that part of the code again, slap it on the bottom. Does not matter about chronological order of events. So now I got really easy to mess with code again. Really well-defined functions. It's really easy to add stuff, but it's a little less efficient, but a heck of a lot more efficient. Okay, sure, why not? Bruh. I'm literally going to be coding this from the ground up again. I can't even. Oh god, that's painful. Oh my god, I was so close. All I wanted to do was just have these bevels. I just needed to get small at the top, bigger at the bottom, that's it. And then it's like, no, make everything again from scratch. Again. Anyway, once all of that's done, then I can do the array around thing. It should be easy enough. It's just simply grab everything, duplicate it, and I can literally just offset its ID. So if I just use its ID as based on numbers, so I could sort it all so it goes from 0 to wherever the heck on this thing, duplicate it, move it, remove a thing, offset by that number, job done. Then order everything again? Well, I mean, if I know how many I'm removing... Well, I mean, if it... Because if I'm duplicating, and if I'm removing like that, then it would have to be in order, so I can't be doing that. Could I? I mean, I can definitely duplicate and move it with the added number to it. That's fine, it should make everything unique. It's just that edge. Because I can easily enough label that into some sort of a category, and then I have the mirrored version of the other one's category, and I just be like, hey, all of you things are now you things. As long as the order of the vertices within that category is top to bottom, easy enough, then I just say top to bottom of this, you're now top to bottom of that. Job done, with the offsetted number. And that welds it all together. Yeah, so I'd have to do the unique ID array at the end. Alright, which would just be simply looping through each of the vertices. Your index is now your index, your ID. The ID is stored within the face index arrays, so it would automatically override. The faces know what vertices are now that they're being changed still. And job done. It's just that last loop that's a bit annoying. Because it's a heck of a lot of vertices that will be around. I guess I'll be dumping it into the array while I'm doing that. So just go through each one, rename its ID, and also put this now into the array. So 1 is whatever this vertex is, its ID is 1, job done. And then I have to loop through all of the faces. Oh god, that's painful. Because when you loop through faces, you don't literally loop through faces unless... no. Because for the faces to have indexing, I would need to... How to turn music on, I don't care. There you go, everyone else can hear music. If anybody happens to be there, let me know if you do or don't want that. It just feels so wrong listening to music that only I can hear. Guess if I turn that, I'll turn everything else on.
TV. Hey, sorry, I am back.
Oh, hello. Welcome back. I just turned the music on. What do you think? Although this song's just faded out.
How long you gonna stream, good sir?
Oh, you can't hear the chat if I mute the desktop audio. I don't know. I'm hoping to just go until this thing is working, because as I said, like 3D printer and stuff. I got some photos, which I really should save somewhere, so I'm going to do that now. Really, the only copy of the photos I have is just on this random Discord thing. It's just up here somewhere. Sometimes on the Discord. There you go. Yeah, this is a thing I did.
Cruises TV. Oh.
Oh no, it did the thingy again. I have a way to fix this now though. Hooray. This may take a little bit. Because this thing just literally destroys your computer and there's no way to quit it, except for one new way that I've discovered. Which is if you go to Task Manager, You can't see it because I'm on the other screen. But no windows can be above what's currently happening here right now. So I can't tab out, I can't quit this program, I can't go to Task Manager and see it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Task Manager. Oh, this is really annoying because everything's sorted by things. And then I have this really, like when you press Control Tab, you can see the preview of the window. So using that preview of the window, I have to look at it, then use the arrow keys to try to go down to the program that is currently doing this. Why is it doing that? And I'm going to tab because I can't see where I'm trying to get to. And I also can't read the writing of the things that I'm trying to see. So I just got to try to spot it by its really tiny icon image. And then I can delete it. So yeah, this might take a second. A lot of things running. A lot of applications going. Is that it? Oh.
Cruises TV. The stream kinda messed up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I can't do anything right now. All you see is this thing. Nothing to do with the stream. It's this program on Windows, the snipping tool. Just bugs out like this. Ah, there it is. Moving. 2 more. Got it. Okay. Delete. Hey! Success.
Cruises TV. No worries, take our time to debug.
Yeah, it's Windows. Anyway, so yeah, I printed this thing. So, the 3D printed. So, you can see how absolutely tiny this gear is. I got like this other picture here. So, that tiny, tiny gear, and then it's got this cross-shaped pin going through it. So, that's actually 2 of these gears stacked up on top of each other with the pin going through it. It's to test tolerances and also different shapes of these pins, because I'd really like a pin that was circular and cross that both go through the same hole. And that way I can have it spinning, but if I don't want it spinning, I can just put a different rod into it, rather than printing unique gears for the different applications. Unfortunately, it's a little bit too small. I could probably adjust things ever so slightly, but to have enough room for the cross thing to properly grip on it means the circle's too big. The circle's, you know, would work. Because the circle pin is all the way inside of this. And if I have the circle all the way as big as that, then, well, yeah, it just doesn't work. I gotta have a mix between them. But yeah, you can see how absolutely tiny that is. And it's also really cool because, like, the accuracy is just unbelievable. You can't even make that out in this image, although the camera's terrible. I got a whole setup so I can do assembling of stuff and things like that while also showing what I'm doing. I got like this magnifying glass and this lens for my camera for doing macro stuff, and I figured out how I can make my phone do stream things.
Cruises TV. Yeah, I can see the sharpness of the item.
Yeah, oh my god, it's amazing. These little parts here are just little flakes of plastic. They're not actually attached to it in any sort of a way. But yeah, it is just, it feels like it's been, like pressure molded or whatever you call it. Like, it feels like molded plastic. It does not feel like something that's been 3D printed. It's crazy. So, yeah, that's a different set of stuff. So this was the thing that I was testing originally, just because I had one of those printed already. There you go. This was the smallest thing I could do in my old filament printer. So yeah, this is with the resin printer. Yeah, this is literally the first thing I printed with it, so it's the tolerances are trash. I could probably print it smaller, but it fits my purpose, so I got a black light to like cure the parts.
TV.
Makes
Hey,
everything
can I
glow.
be honest with you?
Perhaps. How tiny it is. Yeah, so that's 0.5 millimeters. The gear that I was holding in my hand was like 0.4? I don't know.
You have so much knowledge, bro. You should make YouTube videos, honestly, like in series, you know.
Yeah, I tried, but nobody gave a damn.
Cause what are doing is very interesting, so make them huge, you know.
I mean, if it was that interesting, it'd be great if people just watched my streams, but I'm so burnt out now, I don't care anymore. Like, I haven't done anything in ages because it's just... I'm dead. I don't have passions anymore. I've been doing this for a heck of a long amount of years and nobody cares. I've never made any money out of any of this junk. I mean, I've probably got almost about $200 of donations in, like, I don't even know how many years of streaming. I can't even get an average of 3 views on Twitch anymore. But I don't see any of that changing until I become passionate about things, but that's not going to happen unless I can find an artist. But yeah, this is the old game you said you wanted to see. Bractory. So I built this nice dynamic loading thing so it can load in the important things to run the program, and then all of these assets are loading in as required. It will load things in faster, like it'll prioritize it if it's required immediately. It's like you can see it jumping up the list as these extra things are required. Love that. And then you got that missing thing there, which is from this plate. For whatever reason, one of its maps have disappeared. Some specular map or some sort. Yeah, these are just planes with textures on it. There's no color information. Like, if you were to see the individual textures, it's just grey. The only thing that really has color to it is just the normal map.
Mono, booting old laptop just to say D-Live chat ain't showing.
Oh no. It isn't? Oh. I think I just forgot to turn it on. Boop.
I have entered the chat so productivity drops to 0. Twitch person, please mention D-Live chat. Twitch person, please mention D-Live chat.
Yeah, Twitch people wouldn't have seen it. How long ago did you enter? I entered the chat. Yeah, okay, I see. It was on the last 3 messages. Yeah. Oh, music paused. I haven't done that. Whoa, just tabbing to it unfroze it. Interesting. But anyway, this is what I was talking about with the normal map. So they're actually interacting with the lighting dynamically as if they were 3D objects. So it's lit up on the top of these rods, and like you can see that the highlight of the edge of this top part lit up, you know. That's because the lights are above. If I was to move the lights around them, which I could do, but it would be really annoying, yeah, it would light up dynamically accordingly, as if it was a 3D mesh. So from a distance, like, they just look like 3D objects, you know? It's only the snapping in the changes of the images that you really notice, especially with this low resolution. I don't think I can up the resolution without restarting it, so...
Mono, today is the final day of my exams.
Oh no. Yeah, the illusion's just lost when you close up, because you're always seeing it from the same perspective no matter what. So I was trying to tilt that one, because these were supposed to be running on conveyor belts, which you're a little... what? You're a little higher up. But yeah, that depends on distance. The further away you go, the different perspectives. So I could just render out a gajillion images, and there you go. Because these don't really count towards poly count. Let's see if I can remember how to do stuff. Yeah. I don't remember how to delete things. I had some sort of a mode change, that's all I remember. I want to say it was the crouch button, because I remember crouching. But that's not right. Huh? Well, anyway, the point was just that. So yeah, I got all this stuff running in my new one as well. So it's got the same dynamic lights. The lights you can see are literally from point sources. You can sort of see it's a bit brighter around the torches, and it gets darker as it goes further. I can move these around in real time. It interacts with all the different maps and stuff. So yeah, this ball doesn't have any textures other than a normal map. So you can see the interactions of a normal map. There are a few bits that aren't quite right. There's one problem with my normal map I haven't figured out yet, which causes it to sometimes invert. Like that. I can also enable different maps. Let me just change it back to daytime. So that's no color, no normal, no specular. That's just showing the world normals, which doesn't work but also works, which is very confusing. Something goes wrong with visualizing it. Emissions.
Mono, was this from that game you were planning on making that you kept saying you wouldn't make it but then saying that you would?
What? This is the city. What? I spent so long on these things, it's still surprising that people don't know of what this game is. I'm just assuming the other guy's still there that was asking about all this. Yeah, it's cool when you turn everything off, and it's just normal maps. And specular. You can really see, like, sometimes that glitchiness happening on the board.
I meant the one before.
I don't know. How nice does that look? Looks like an actual game engine.
The conveyor one.
Oh yeah, the Fractory one. Yep. I was making it, and then, yeah, it failed. The goal of the game, it was not possible within the constrictions I have. It was boring. It would have been boring to play. Like, it's fun for like 10 minutes, and then it's like, eh. Anyway.
Mono, I played this one and shot myself into space many times.
Yeah. Whee! Oh, it's very bright. Yep. I don't know, guy that was asking about this. I forgot who you were. Your name's not on the screen, so I don't know who you are. I could explain this in much more detail if you wanted to, especially if you wanted to help with it. I got like flowcharty things describing all sorts of stuff about things. I have the first couple of minutes.
TV. I am here, good sir.
Okay. Yeah, I got the first couple of minutes of what I thought the story would be. I guess I'll explain that anyway. Yeah, so basically, like, the way the game was supposed to start, I need to remove this. I don't like how this works. Like, I want it to be realistic, but then I also want it to be a game.
It's also fun to go inside the island.
I've actually looked inside of it with all the objects. Yeah, head collisions are disabled because that way I can clip through things if I want to. I think collisions in general are disabled. Yeah, so it's just you can stand on things, that's it. Wind up the map. I love winding up the map because it unwinds. It's like, whee! Always returns back to that same position. And I don't have it being just going to the nearest thing that would get there. Anyway, so yeah, the idea of the game is you're on a floating island, and let's see how much I can remember. You don't know why you're here. You start on the island, and there's an altar thing, and the
Cruises TV. Have you made a game creation tool to put game objects into the game?
No.
How did you place these things?
All code. So I made it so I can import OBJ models from Blender, so I made my own exporter so I can import directly into this. So I literally just made all of this as you see in Blender. Huh. Interesting. Why is it black? I guess because it's getting dark? I don't remember doing that before, though. Oh, I have emissions disabled. There you go. Yeah. So I made an exporter from Blender, so I just modeled this all up. I can attach the materials and the things, just, you know, normals to normals, like hardness or whatever the maps are that I have enabled. I could just plonk all of that in Blender and then export it out to here, and it will know everything. And there you go. It doesn't know the location of textures and stuff, just what the name is, because I just have all my textures in a folder that's just called textures, so it just looks in that folder for the texture. If it's not there, I have a little red thingy that pops up here saying that, you know, it didn't load, so I know if there's broken files or anything. I also have a thing in the console saying information. Anyway, that's basically it. The idea is sort of with the code, I can visualize it, but it's been so long I don't really know how to explain it in a very good way. But basically, along with the OBJ file, you could also have a text file, JavaScript file, whatever the heck, that will have extra information about that object, so all of its game logic. So you would have all the different events, like an on-click event, an on-keyboard event. So like this map here, it's got a tick event, so every tick the game updates, it runs a piece of code, and that's basically just checking its distance from the player. So when the player's within a certain distance of the map, it flips up. The way it flips up makes it sometimes do that thing, which you see so often in games when they have menu buttons which grow or shrink when you mouse over it, and then you mouse just right and it just does this thing. It's an easy enough thing to fix, but it's just surprising how many AAA games have that. But yeah, so it's just got a tick update, check the player distance. I know where the player data is stored, so it's easy enough for me to do that. And yeah, if the player is within the distance, then change its location. So it's just like this dot rotation or location, blah blah blah, depending on variables. There you go. And then I have an on-click event, so my whole event system works in this thing now. So I can on mouse down on that object, I can do that. On mouse up, it sets the location to be where it is. I used to have it so you could press escape and it would jump back to where it used to be. It sort of did it then. Escape also unlocks the mouse though. Anyway, yeah, so it's got all that sort of stuff going on. So on mouse over without clicking, if it's over a certain location, judge based by what's being rendered on it, you know, it can highlight it. If I walk too closely, it gets very laggy. I imagine my stream might get a little glitchy when I do that too. The code to make this outline is not the most efficient thing. Even though it's really low resolution, it takes a lot of computing power to go through every single pixel and check every single pixel around it with their... Yeah, that's a whole extra rant. But yeah, so technically you could make a game by doing all that stuff. I don't have that event system by separate text files working currently, but it wouldn't be that hard to put it in. Yeah, so that way you could do all of that. And you would have to custom code it within the text file itself. I could technically make a logic brick system within Blender, but yeah, that's a lot of work. Yeah. So on mouse over of the bed, it will change the time of day. It doesn't matter about distance though, unlike the map. So the map won't do... Oh, it does highlight even from a distance, okay. Oh, it does do the click thing too. It should be locked by distance, but whatever. It only updates on mouse move though. Oh, and the mouse has to be over it. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, it's based on the UV coordinates that the mouse is looking at. So it actually works on that roll part. Anyway, it's pretty cool. I just wanted to go around the back of the map to see if it could see from the back. It's sort of a little hard. I've never actually seen the back of the map, really.
Oh no, my old phone crashed when I started Chrome after I turned the phone off completely.
Oh no. Yeah, but anyway, if you're still there, be nice to know, because I always explain things and then people left and I never know. Yeah, the basic story of the game, this thing was going to be like some sort of an altar thing, and it grows like a little crystal out of it. I was thinking the clouds are not actually clouds, they're actually made out of crystal particles, was it? Or magnetic something or other. I don't know. So basically, the little crystal seed that is grown from the altar in the center can be yeeted off the edge of the island, and then a new island will grow and float up. So the crystal makes the island float with a superconductor, I don't know. And then it floats on the magnetic field of the planet was sort of the thing that I had for explaining stuff. Good enough. So these pillars are actually made out of the crystal, and they've basically been refined down so you can control the island. It was sort of the idea. So when you float up a new island, it will just have like a crystal tree thingy in the center of it, which you can harvest to create the control pillars, obelisks, conduits. I had many names for them.
Mono, you were talking about tractor beams at some point.
I mean, not tractor beams, but the problems, the design flaws with that is when a new island floats up, how do you get to it? So I was thinking like there could just be some bridge that's a hologram thing, and then you walk over it, but I don't really know how to explain that. It sounds terrible. Or the crystals could grow from this island to the other one so they connect together. Sounds cool, I guess, but I want it to be more rope-like. They're not rigidly attached. But the crystals aren't plants, they're not like vines, it's crystals. So I'm not sure how to mix those two ideas together. Just gotta get over there somehow. I could have like a grappling hook thing, so you gotta like look over and fire it, and then you can attach the two islands together somehow, but...
With a catapult.
Yeah, but then you need some sort of a catapult thing. The idea is you're basically spawning on this island with nothing on it except for this weird altar thing, the pillars, and... I don't know, a place that it looks like you've been sleeping in. Pile of leaves on the dirt, I don't know. And yeah, that's it. So you've been stranded on this island, you've got no memory. There's some bushes and rocks and stuff around which you can collect together to make like a makeshift little bed. Sort of the idea of the first thing. And then after a certain amount of time has passed, or you've completed enough stuff, the little crystal thing will be growing in the middle, however that looks.
Zizat. Oh no.
Oh no. So yeah, then you find that, you can pick it up. I don't want an inventory though. I want it to be as simple as possible, so it's really hard to balance all the things.
Mr. Shit started his stream.
Oh yeah. So yeah, you got the little crystal thing, you grab it.
Mono, you abuse the physics' engine and fly over.
Just yeet.
Zizat. OP.
You can fly for some reason, why not? You go too far away though, you die. Physics bugs out sometimes, you just slide across the ground. Yeah, so I don't really know how to indicate to the player that the crystal is a thing you can pick up, and then you can yeet it off the edge to grow a thing. Originally, you would grab it, you would be holding it in your hand, and you could go up to one of these pillars and interact with it. There'll be like a glowing thing on it or something, I don't know. When you interact with it, the camera will turn to the side, look up, and then the crystal just gets yeeted. So that's how it sort of indicates that happens. It's terrible logic, but it works, I guess. Other than that, I was thinking you interact with the pillars somehow, and then a new island floats up, so it like summons an island. But I like the idea of the crystal being a seed that will, goes down, grows in a patch of land, and lifts it up. So that way, you'll be able to fly your entire island around a map, which another reason of this. And different areas, different biomes will have different chances of different stuff happening. So, you need more wood or something, or fertile land. So you go to a certain area which generally has that underneath it, and then you can pull up an island which meets your requirements, like ores and things.
Just make S shape of the crystal on all PLRs.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just like, how does you then indicate to the player that is then to mean just throw it off the edge? The other thing is the pillars would be like control things for the... I guess it's got to connect it. The whole island's, I guess, a network, so whatever, you can just magic that away. But yeah, the pillar you're standing nearest to when you throw it over the edge is where the new island will float up and be sort of tethered to. So it's like this pillar is powering the crystals on the island from your altar thing to make like a conduit flow, which limits you from how much islands you can pull up, the distance and sizes and all that sort of stuff. You need to have enough power to keep it there, otherwise it just drops back down again. Yeah, so you can do upgrades and stuff to all of that later on to fix all of those things, but it's The bridges. That's what I hate. I don't know what to do about the bridges. I can't think of any good idea for that. Yeah. Because once it's floated up, how do you get to it? It needs to be a distance away so you can't really see it. Or maybe it floats further away the more polygons it has. So it's sort of like an indication about the poly limit being reached.
It's 5 a.m. and exams exist.
Okay, have fun. Good luck. Yeah. So, I don't know, all of that sort of stuff. But yeah, so the idea of the game, you go around, harvest the stuff, you make a new bed, that just shows you things. There's no inventory, you only hold what's in your hand, so you go around, collect things, bring it back to forwards, until you've collected enough to make the thing, or you've collected everything, or enough days have passed, or something for the crystal to grow. You yeet the crystal over the edge. The first island that comes up has a person on it, who also has no memory of anything. And he sort of acts like your scientist guy.
It's English, so it should be extremely easy.
Alright, that's great. I always assume it's math for some reason. Anytime anyone mentions an exam, it's like, oh, math tests, am I right? It's always a math test. Yeah, so the guy will come up, he talks to you, but you don't talk to him. I can have the whole text-to-speech thing going for that, which is pretty cool. Although I can't guarantee what speech will be, what is the accent or anything, or if it even works. But yeah, that's a thing. Anyway, so he basically acts like a scientist. He suggests you do something. I can't remember exactly what it was.
Mono, I already had my math exams and it went horrible.
Oh no. I mean, pass is a pass. You got, like, you need to eat and sleep and drink, I suppose, and so do your people. So it starts off with you manually doing everything, and then eventually you'll have an entire city of everything being automated, and you just micromanage stuff. Is sort of the general idea of the game. So I think he mentions something about the farm or something. I can't really remember. So he lives on his island, and you're over on this island. You do whatever that thing was he says to do. His island has more resources on it, which you didn't have before.
Mono, I don't know if it is a pass.
Oh no. The left. Chat things are all wrong. Yeah, it's just that guy. Yeah, so you grab the new resources. I think he might mention something about the sleeping arrangements or something. Or that's the next thing he says. I don't know. You do a thing for him, and then he ends up coming over to this island and suggests you turn the other island into a better farm, because there's not really much food for the both of us. And yeah, so the first island you pull up sort of fertile.
Mono, I'm a go now.
Thanks for dropping by. I'm assuming that other guy's still there. I can't even try to say your name. Ended with TV, didn't it? Cruises TV. Let's go with that. I assume you're still paying attention. Listen. Yeah, so you turn the other island into a farm, which is sort of a different mechanic. So originally there was going to be stamps on the table or something like that, so you could pick them up, and then you can stamp one of these plots once an island's floated up, so it's a big circle, depending on the size of the island, and then you can designate it as some sort of a thing. So it'll be teaching you about that. You designate it as a farming plot. And then you can manually set it up to be a farm, and the other guy will sort of help you with it as well.
Zizat, don't worry, I'm here. Your average 1.0 OPOP.
I think you were 0.04 last time, or 0.4. Yeah, I think you were a 4 last time, I can't remember. Anyway, so that just teaches you how to designate islands. And then he's like talking about the altar thing and how the crystal seems to be based on time or something. I don't know. He just sort of talks because you don't talk. You're just a silent protagonist, I guess. Anyway, the next island you then pull up has some people on it. Wait, no. The next island you pull up will have more resources which you can do stuff, so you can upgrade your bed. You could build a better something or other, I don't know, other different things. It'll have stone and stuff on it, I think. And then during the night, after you've done some sort of amount of stuff, when you next go to sleep and wake up, there will be an extra island that is attached to your sky place, and it's got some people on it who were running for some mysterious plot device. And, yeah, so now you got your sort of first villagers, I guess. So you got your scientist guy and some villagers. Your villagers are just afraid of something. They're not elaborated. And then they can automate tasks for you. So they will do the farming things for you, and but they need some better housing and stuff, so you designate the new place like a living area sort of a thing. And everyone goes and lives over on that one. So you got your main one, your farming one, your living one, and then a new one, which I guess is docked, or they jumped across on the way past. I think, no. They jumped across on the way past with a different floating island. I was going to do a whole thing about islands not being compatible with each other, because there's other floating cities, but each crystal thing that is the thing that's supplying power to everything, they're all incompatible from each other, sort of. But then you could dock onto different cities and, like, board them and steal islands from them. That's a possibility. I don't know. That happens. The people don't want to leave the floating islands for whatever reason. There'll also be, like, big floating landmass things, which will have, like, dungeon-type deals on them, which you alone can go to.
I am thinking. I am actually your average minus 1.0 OPOPY. Yeah. Because I say negative shit all the time about you, Mr. Shit Forehead.
Yeah, that's that guy. Anyway. So that's basically the plot of the game as far as I figured out so far. Once you've done that basic stuff, the science guy will always be mentioning things like he'll be examining these pillars and be like, oh yes, I could possibly reconstruct that on the other islands, because currently you can only have 3, 1 for each pillar. Yeah, and then he will figure out how to make the other islands have pillars as well from now, tree things, refining it and upgrading and stuff. Just very basic versions of them. So these ones allow you to move the island around. He doesn't know that yet. You don't know how to do that yet. So yeah, just a crude basic version of it that will just act as a tether between new islands that can be pulled up. So now you can just do that. Your crystal thing regrows every X amount of time, or when plot devices happen. Yeah, and then you can just start messing around, growing bigger and bigger. People populate, so you require more resources and junk. You have, like, you know, a farming place that's making something, and then you have a refinery that makes grain into flour or something. And then you will have a bakery island, so your people have to go from their homes to the farming place to farm. Other people would be going to the bakery or the refining place to... Granary? I don't know. To do whatever they need to do to produce produce so everyone can be happy and survive. And you got to balance all of that sort of stuff. You can't have places too far away, otherwise it takes all day for people to get there, and then they got to go turn around, go back again. So, yeah. There'll be like different supply depot island things, so you know they don't have to go from the farm to the grainy place to the bakery. There could be a supply depot that could be storing junk as required that's in a central location, so the farmers go to that place instead as required. Every place will have its own little inventory supply, so whatever. People have their own inventory supplies for carrying things. There's limits to how much they can transfer. They literally have to transfer things. It doesn't just magically happen. Blah 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 blah. Anyway, that's the idea. But yeah, I don't really know what to do, because the thing that's holding it back is how do I connect islands together when they initially float up? That doesn't just seem really lame. I don't know. The best I could sort of think is like a root system growing out to it. Sort of works, it's cool, I guess. But it doesn't really fit how things are supposed to work, because it's supposed to be like crystal-y thingies that do it. I guess it could just be some weird tree thing. I don't know. Which is my original idea for the altar, which could be upgraded to allow chaining more islands together so it's more powerful and stuff. But as it gets upgraded, it turns into basically a giant tree, crystal tree thing with the, like a cutout in it you can go into for the seed. I don't know. It's much more laggier than it used to be. Yeah, having big lag spikes. Oh boy, that's not good. Yeah, these lag spikes. map view? Oh wow. Apparently to render this mini-map thingy is taking half the performance. I guess it's updating every frame for some reason. It shouldn't update unless it's moving. Whatever. Anyway, that's that game. Guy who probably isn't here anymore. Or stopped paying attention. That's as far as I got with my engine. Yeah, it's got all the stuff there, the lighting and things. I was messing around a whole heap with that. That was more the old project. Getting things to work. Oh, I clicked and it broke. Because it can't handle that many textures. Heck of a lot of behind the scenes dynamic fancy god like code stuff going on. Goodness. Yeah. I don't know. I was thinking brutalist style architecture for the thing. Nice, simple, low poly, but it's hard to convey what the building's supposed to be by just glancing at it. Yeah. I was trying to come up with different ideas for the pillars. But it's really hard to Google stuff. Magic infused architecture. Because that was another idea. Having like conduit systems transferring power around the place, which then turned into those pillars. So then you would have like some mana producing place. I was trying to figure that out, but yeah, now I'm just thinking of the tree. I guess you could subsidize it. So the clouds themselves are your power source, sort of the idea. So you drift around the place. Sometimes it's more cloudy, sometimes less, I guess. And then, yeah, that's like what your power supply is. So you need to charge off the clouds. You can't go anywhere there isn't these clouds floating around that would act as borders. And at some point you'll be able to create like a battery system which will allow you to move between areas that haven't got clouds to unlock parts of the map and stuff. You can collect it and condense it into the crystal thing, which is basically what happens for that. And you can use it to do other stuff as technology evolves. It'd be like a tech tree thing and all that. Yeah. I don't even know where my flowcharts are for all this stuff anymore. Dig them around. Pick them up if anybody wanted to know. But yeah, now I gotta recode that entire thing again from scratch. So I think I'm gonna go to the toilet. And then that is happening. Can't stop playing this damn thing. It's just, you just have it running in the background, job done. Progress is very slow now though. As these games go. That's why they want you to give them money, to make progress fast again, just like it was when you first started. Many people I know would do that. Yeah. Finally got another one of these things. Yeah, next one happens at what? I think it's like 50,000. Yeah. Whatever. Yeah, well, I'm not doing any damage at all yet. I'm so far through the thing. I'm definitely not going to be making it to wave 200 though. I need to be well in the 50s of damage. I think like 54 or something before I'm even at wave 130. What's this gear icon? Huh? Yeah. Anyway. I'm gonna go to the toilet. Put that on the screen. Be right back. My clothes are falling apart, damn it. Do you hate that? What happens when you basically haven't bought clothes since... Yeah, let's not think about that. Why did my phone go off? Yep. Classic Tinder. Just like, hey, look at me. Mr. Tinder. Letting me know it exists with a notification I'll never see. Delicious candy. Nom 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 nom. Okay. Oh god. Well, this sucks. Okay, let's test something. Why is my mouse sensitivity wrong? Why is my mouse sensitivity wrong? Oh no no no! The phone flashed at me again. Oh, no notification. Ah, oh, chocolate's so damn delicious. Oh. Now, if I do this, and then I will delete it, and then undo it, okay. Okay. Nice. So the crashes are nothing to do with my code. It's just simply because I pressed that button that makes things not work right. I have a tooth that hurts only when I eat chocolate. I'm very concerned. Okay, let's get into making everything again entirely from scratch once again. Yeah. Hopefully it should go a little faster, but I still can't see it taking less than at least 3 days. So let's just give it a week. If it's going to take a week, we may as well give it 2 months. That's how I work now for some reason. Games? What? Oh, games? What am I doing? Blender. Oh, add-ons? Oh, what? What did I call my own stuff again? Weather apps, yeah, they are. Le copy le paste le rename to number 3 now. Third remake of this iteration. 3.py. Code lip block. Okay. Let's go again! Hooray. How do we do the doo-doo? I could store everything the way I'm currently storing it. Oh, why not? Yeah, let's see why not. God, I can't stop eating these. Okay. How do data? Okay, so faces. Let's work from top down. Faces. Faces. Do I want to store what faces verts belong to? Or just what verts create faces? So, the way I would assume this working would be faces has some sort of an ID because that's how it exists. In which case vertices would have the same thing. In which case vertices would... should... How do instancing work again? I'm confusing myself. So it would be something along the lines of mesh... Let's just say .vert. It's not how it works, but let's just say it is because that's what I'm used to. Got ID. So it'll be something like that. ID location. Okay. So that means faces would be the face. And then... Because if I add faces to the vertices, so the vertices not what faces that they're attached to. If I delete a vertice, then I can fix that.
Cruises TV. Yo-yo, sorry, was busy. What project is this?
Oh, okay, don't worry. I've only explained the entire plot of a game while you were away. I'm making the gear thing again. Girls. So yeah. So this is the add-on currently. I just set stuff back. So...
Cruises TV. No, I heard what you were talking.
Oh,
I
yeah.
just didn't write anything.
Cool.
I have 2 monitors, so I was listening to you.
Thanks for letting me know. So I built my chat system in the first place, because people would ask me things like that, and then I'd read for like 2 hours assuming they were listening still. I never used to ask questions or anything back then. And, yeah, just to find out they probably left like 5 minutes into that. Like, okay, thanks for that. So I built my chat system so it goes badonk when people leave. Oh, whatever it does. Donk. I don't know. Can't even remember. But yeah, so I'm making this add-on that creates gears that for my 3D printing thing, so I can adjust like the number of teeth is on the gear, so you can have a gear with 1 tooth if you wanted to. Doesn't work. I got an example over here. You need at least 4 at this size. Yeah, pitch radius is just size of the gear. Depth is depth. You got bevel, which is really nice. It's not that much. We've got this nice bevel around the gear. Love it. You could also twist the gear. Works on degrees. You can add more detail to that, which you wouldn't be able to see, but yeah.
Cruises TV. Yeah, you kinda do advanced engineering things, bro. You should do a mini rover like the ones on Mars. You got the knowledge and software plus hardware bound. Cool idea, huh? What you think?
Well, a drone was the thing that I wanted to make originally, but it just costs money, and nobody ever donated, so that's that. Yeah, I want to make a drone that is automated, like autonomous drone that scans and maps its environment. I have all the knowledge I need to do it, pretty much. I have made things that map before, and at least in 2D, which 3D is not that much more. I used to have all the knowledge and stuff. All the stuff was created to be interchangeable, so I could just use that code. But yeah, that was many years ago now, and it still hasn't happened. Yeah. So yeah, the idea was it would just be a drone. There would be a base station which it uses to triangulate its position. And then it could fly around, and it basically just has a virtual grid. So just a basic voxel-y thing. And then it flies around scanning each of the spaces where the voxel grids would be in the virtual space and sees if it detects anything. If there's nothing there, don't worry about it. So yeah, if there's a table, then there would be stuff intersecting those tiles, which it's detected, so don't fly there. And yeah, the complicated stuff is like, how does it deal with a window? How does it deal with the mirror? You know, things like that. How does it deal with a line of fishing string that is strung across a room? Would it know of its existence? How would I get it to know? So you'll need a combination of like LiDAR things and laser scanning stuff and a basic just light sensor. So, you know, your basic light sensor will deal with most things, but it just shines through a window. Oh, thanks for the follow. Where, you know, a sound-based thing would be able to detect a window, easy. But sound-based stuff wouldn't be able to detect a fishing line, which is where the laser thing would sort of come into it. So it can detect, like, smaller details on stuff. So it would just do a basic scanny thing in the general area to ping off anything that could be in that general direction, you know? I don't know. The coding for that is something I've never done before, so that'll be an experience. And yeah. I don't know, I reckon that would be really cool to build entirely from scratch, so I'd literally just start off with a bunch of pieces, connect them all together, build all the code so the drone can fly and balance and stuff, and blah blah blah. The other cool thing I could do is I want it all to be processed within the drone itself would be pretty cool, although bad when I don't know what I'm doing, because if it breaks everything. But yeah, so the drone itself would have a bit of memory and a bit of processing power that it uses to do everything autonomously. The base station's just basically for triangulating. And then you could extend the range of drones by tethering them together. So if the drones have scanned everything within their immediate area around the base station, and there's no undiscovered tiles left, everything's been filled or void, then they can extend their range by having some drones act as tethers. So, as long as it can see a tethered drone, it can triangulate its position from there, although a little less accurately, probably. Yeah, to extend its range. And the tethered drones, which are now just sitting there doing not much, can use their processing power to speed things up, perhaps. So, yeah, every drone in the fleet act as a processor core. Just thought that would be cool. Don't have a use for it or anything like that, but it sounds fun. Probably learn something. Yeah, that's the idea anyway. As I said, it costs at least $200 or $300, I think it was, to get started and all of that. At least that was my calculations back in the day. Yeah, that was back when I used to get donations and have lots of views, so if it didn't happen then, it ain't gonna be happening anytime soon. Unless someone decides to be really, really generous. I don't know. Now I'm messing around with 3D printer. Yeah. The bevel gear thing's the feature I'm trying to add to it. Yeah, that thing doesn't like to be 0. Yep. This is a variable I currently got to get into it. I need it to shrink down like this as it goes from top to bottom, or vice versa. And then I can have the bevel angles. That's how I created these gears originally. I literally created this with this code already. All I wanted to do was have it so it filled in this area. And then the tops and bottoms of this. Because I had to do those manually. But to make the code do that stuff is very complicated. So all of the gear thing was doing before was just making this outside edge loop and then just copying it down. But every time it was unique. And if I generated a gear with this code that has 100 teeth, it takes about like almost 30 seconds or something like that. Really long time. My current one can do it in 2. Alright. I have many broken dreams. Maybe one day it'll happen. I can literally rant for weeks at a time about all my many hundreds of thousands of different projects. I think the link to my website should work. What's happening over here? I can't use any abilities? Yeah. I think everyone's being perpetually knocked out. Huh. Any one of these abilities would just murder them all. Oh, interesting. I might get an achievement. What was I saying? Oh yeah, my website. Where'd that go again? But if you happen to still be there and looking, you can find a link to my website if you just scroll down. There's a whole heap of stuff here. Some of the text things you should probably read before clicking on it, just in case. Such as my game engine stuff. Do not run it on a phone. Do not run it on a laptop, probably. I don't know. Otherwise, especially the older ones in particular, like the old Doom thing, the GPU Doom thing, might crash your graphics cards if you're on Linux. Some guy said that happens. I think he was running 4 1080s, because that was the new graphics card back then. And I got like different categories of stuff as well, more than just games. And then of that, if you go to the URL thing and just remove the .html part from the end of the any category, then you can find even more stuff in there that just hasn't been put up yet, or wasn't worthy to be, or was put up, but then I messed with my website so things broke and I just forgot to relist it. Which I think there's one here that for whatever reason never got uploaded, and then I just forgot about it, so I don't know which one it is. What is B? I don't remember B. Oh, that's an old one. What horrific things is this gonna do? B. B. Oh, it's the alternate version of this that does ray trace rendering. Yeah, because my game engine is ray trace rendered. But this does lighting. And reflections. Oh god, I love this. I love the aesthetic of this thing. I hate it how I cannot do this by myself. But yeah. So the thing with this is the more forward or backwards you are, the different the colors are. So it's actually lighting things. But if I was to light things like this, and then move sideways, and then move backwards, you can see the reflection of the wall, because the reflections only bounce once, so that's the true thing of the wall there. You can't see it here, but here you can. So that is the old lighting. So this would basically be the shadow behind the ball. represented in a different color, or the shadow behind the cube. I feel like it's lit up red behind the box. Make more drastic, make more apparent. Yeah, so that used real-time ray trace lighting. So basically there's a point source, which is where your camera is. But it is based on a thing, so rounding errors happen. Doesn't that just hurt your eyeballs? I don't know why it goes all flashy either. It was never designed to. You can see like the shadowy parts there, where nothing's been lit up yet. As I walk through, it sort of lights up. The green was the last light to see it. Because it does a full 360 thing, it's not just what's in front of me. Although that would have been cool if I just limited it to that. You can see the green going from a gradient to yellow. Fun times. Ooh. Oh. Too red, I can't see anything. Where am I? Oh, how did I get back here again? Love it! I guess my color mixing's not the best. Anyway, that was fun, but I require being able to sort data using the graphics card to figure out the order of the index of the vertices of the mesh's UV map. It basically just ray traces a point, figures out where that UV coordinate is, and codes that into an image, which is then sent to the CPU. So the image the same as you're seeing right now, except every pixel, instead of having color values, it has UV coordinate and object values. So then the CPU can look at a pixel and be like, where is this? And then it's like, oh, it's on this object at that UV coordinate, make it this color. And then that's how I make a light map. Yeah. So I could have real-time lighting, dynamic shadows. It just halves my performance if I do that. It's the only real problem. What am I doing? Faces. Faces are an array because I don't give a damn. Could it literally just be an array? I mean, as long as I don't try to create a face, which then I need to delete. I don't see why I ever would. So I technically could just make this an array rather than an object. Because if it's an object, I can locate things to delete them. Although based on what, I don't know. The only use of that I can think is for doing spokes and stuff for the gears, which I ain't going to be bothered doing. I should keep it as an array. It's easier to add it than remove it. I mean, remove it than add it back again. Okay. So this basically just contains verts and then whatever the vert is. And then it'll just do that for all of the verts. Which sucks. But there's not really any alternative there, so whatever. Because that basically means when I want to convert this into mesh, I'm going to have to loop through every single face, which is then going to have to loop through every single vertice up to 4 times. So that's where the inefficiencies of this method come in. Heck of a lot better than it was before, though. I'm assuming it will only take 3 seconds instead of 2, but still better than 30. I can't know until I do it. Hopefully it's fine, otherwise I'll have to recode it again. Yeah, because it's got to go through and convert this object into the vertices themselves. I can't think of any way to have that automatically happen in a way that's instanced to this ID, so if I change this ID value, it will change the value within here. Except if I was to have all of the faces that this vertex is connected to. If I was to have all of the faces stored within the vertices themselves, then when I change a vertex, I can just loop through all of its connected faces and update. That is good, but that way I could just see what ID it was before, go to that ID location within the array, update that ID to the new ID, and there we go. It's just locating the vertex, because I got to loop through up to 4 things for all of the faces that it's connected to, which is fine until I'm updating the ID of every single vertex. Because now instead of every face checking a vertex up to 4 times, every vertex is checking every face up to 4 times. No, what? Yeah. Is this better or worse in any way? It does mean it can be done more on the fly. No, I feel like just having the faces update themselves is better. Because the face just looks at all of its indexes, be like, blam blam, this variable, put it there. Blam blam, this variable, put it there. Blam blam, this variable, put it there. Easy. Where this has to loop through a thing, which then loops through a thing. I don't know. At the end of the day, it's just variables. It's not calculating anything. It's just a loop. How many things can I loop through before it gets too laggy? How many vertices can exist? I mean, any way you look at it, you're gonna have to loop through everything at least once, which is the current way. This is... So the current way I got it, it's got to loop through every single vertex and face at least once. And only once. I'm never deleting anything. I'm never replacing anything. Everything will be checked once, and only once. This way, you're guaranteed to have everything checked twice. Once when it's created, once to create it into the mesh. Oh, that's a heck of a lot more times. It's double the amount of times. But again, there's no math going on, there's no complicated things, so it should be fairly simple. But how simple is simple? We talking a second, or we talking 30 seconds? How does scaling work? Damn it, I don't know when there's no way to know, I just have to do it. It's either going to work, it's going to be good enough, I'm just going to keep it that way, or it's going to be very, very bad and I have to redo everything again back to where I currently am, in which case it's just a big waste of time. So do I commit? Do I recode everything again? Or do I just make a mess of my code so edges are ending where I want them to? No, because I gotta do everything, don't I? Okay. Yeah. I think they will both take around about the same amount of time to do, so let's just go with it.
Cruises TV. I was thinking something.
Oh no. Is it safe for work?
Since you're doing real-time project, a game engine, have you looked into WASM?
No, I haven't looked into anything, I just do whatever I think of. There is no research in any of my projects, I literally just sat down and be like, if I do what I was doing, what would I do? And then I do that thing. Job done. Doesn't work. Then what would I do if I knew what I was doing? Then I do that.
Cruises TV. Have you heard of WASM?
Nope. I can't even begin to think of what that means. I'm assuming it's some sort of a technique for rendering. Because... Is it something I can Google? Oh, WebAssembly. Is that it? I mean, yeah, I've heard of this. Which is probably what I would want to do if I... Wow, I have no motivation anymore. There's just literally no passion anymore, it's just gone.
Very fast.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I would do if I was to recode everything. But... yeah, thinking about it, I used to have some desire to do it, but now it's just nothing. I really couldn't care less about anything anymore. Ugh. Life has gotta get hard. I put this guy up here. Keep him there. Can't beat the wave. I can't do anything. Let's just try to do some damn thing. The only motivation I have is I've spent a lot of money on a 3D printer that's really awesome and I sort of had fun messing with it, but it's just so much hassle. Like, I don't know anymore. Because the thing I wanted to 3D print, did you see what I wanted to print? You know about this project? Probably would have mentioned it before, I mentioned it in every project. You know about this thing? You want to hear about it?
Cruises TV, go for it.
Yeah, so it's mechanical tic-tac-toe is the idea behind this thing. So, tic-tac-toe, noughts and crosses, X's and O's, I guess. I don't know, whatever the heck name it happens to be wherever you are. Yeah, that's what this is supposed to be. So, you would take turns doing what you do in the game. So you got the grid of 3x3. You push down a button and it will rotate to display one of the two things, which I just have painted red or blue. When the first person pushes it down, it will be 1, and then when the next one goes down, it turns into the other one. But, you know, alternatively, I could just move it up, because I don't have the toggle mechanism coded, in a way. Yeah, so you just take turns pushing buttons. You don't have to toggle any switches or anything, you just push a button, and they push a button, and you push a button, and they push a button. And then when there's 3 in a row, or none in a row, because it's stalemate as the game goes, there'll be a little scorekeeper thing that will display the score, because why not? And it'll automatically reset the board, so all the buttons just pop back up again. And yeah, so it automatically detects if there's 3 in a row, none in a row, automatically toggles between players, so you just take turns pressing, you don't have to tell it that the next player is now taking their turn. It'll automatically reset, automatically keep score, and reset the score. And the entire thing is powered by a spring. So that would be a winding thing to wind it up. That's the idea anyway. So this is just the block out of it. We got like the button part. Yeah, this top part's buttons. And in the middle section is the state checker to see if there's 3 or whatever in a row. And then the bottom part is sort of a power distribution thing and a recombining thing, because of reasons, which I could explain in great detail if you wanted me to. This thing on the side is like a power inverter, and underneath this would be the winding mechanism and the mainspring. So yeah, the spring it's just a spring, just one spring. Then to reset it, you basically just turn all the gears backwards, which is what this thing does. Which I made a version of it to be printed over here before problems happened. I can animate it. I've got to redesign the entire thing because it sucks. I mean, it should work, it should be good enough to print, but I want to flatten it rather than having it on these many different layers. But basically, you have this part which just turns consistently in a direction. And then this one will toggle its direction. So that's your input, that's your output. This stuff going off to the side isn't required, it's just because that way I can have it powering itself rather than, you know, or at least, you know, these two. So that's your input, that's your output, and this is your toggling mechanism. So, yeah. And then it's got a whole lot of junk happening down here. These things would be representing springs, which would... This whole thing is tiny as well. So the springs here would be the size of the springs that you have in clicky pens. Oh, that's not to scale. This is to scale, so I got to scale the whole thing up by rebuilding the whole thing from scratch. Yeah, so like this gear here is only 4.5 millimeters. I don't know why it's that weird dimension, but whatever. 2 millimeters high. So basically 5 millimeters by 2 millimeters. This thing is tiny. That's half of a centimeter. It's the size of that gear in the photo that I was holding. So that's the smallest gear in this thing. Which there's even down here somewhere. These ones. So yeah, this entire thing is basically 15 by 15 centimeters. Anyway, I really like how it works. It's just really annoying because it's got these latch things on it. Like, yeah. Like, the first thing it does is it toggles these two latches. They have, like, this little ramp thing on them. So it's this little pin part can't slide past that part until this ramp part's in position. And then when the ramp part's positioned, it would basically flex down as it slides through. Half being pushed by the springs, half being bent by this thing. Pulled by that thing or whatever. So yeah, that goes across. There's this thing has like these two ramp things on it, and it's got a little notch in the middle as well, which triggers with that thing. It's hard to see all this stuff because it's all hidden away. But yeah, basically the two ramp things push that up, and then there's the little pin in the very center here, which this can't move across because the pin's in the way. So as that thing slides across, it slides under this thing, which pushes it up, and then clips, whatever you call it. It goes up and across, flicks across, flips at state. Yeah, flip. And by doing that, it combines one of these two gears. So one way that connects to this, the other way it connects to that instead. One of these has two gears, one of them just has the one gear. And that inverts your direction. In a way that isn't dependent on gravity. Yeah. But I'm pretty sure I could get rid of these things, so rather than springs, I could just have one rod of plastic that flexes. Which would be pretty cool. But unfortunately the 3D printing material that I currently use is not flexible in that sort of a way. It's soft. It bends and then just sort of stays there, and it doesn't really have much spring back to it. It'll slowly go back into position, but not in any sort of time. Yeah. Anyway, that's that. But I should be able to get rid of all the stuff on the bottom and just lay it all out flat. So there's basically 3 layers to it, which is how I originally designed it. I guess I deleted? No, that's still down here. Yeah, this is my original design for it. So you got your main gear, you got one part that has 2, one part that has 1, and then your outputty thing. I don't think that was one animated though. No. You got your latch things, which latch with this, I guess. You have your little clippy thing. So those would be the ramps that would not pass the clippy thing. And then this would be your springs. And then that was all folded into this. And that was a previous generation of it, the first attempt, which was using the flexible rods. Things were animated at one point. I don't know what it's all parented to. Up over here it's all parented to. Oh, they're just parented to this. Oh, there you go. Yeah. I don't remember how that one worked. I think it's this gear that's on top would connect to there or there. I don't know. Back to this. Fun times. A watch is the other thing I'd like to create. One that is really, 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 really complicated. Oh my god. I am different now. I am not who I was those years ago. I am broken. Like, the effort used to be what made me want to do it. I loved how much effort it took, how complicated it was, how fun it was to solve problems, but that's just not there anymore. Like, just thinking about all the damn stuff, all the time and effort I spent on these things. Thousands of projects, months on each. It was so fun, but now it's not. Yeah, I just literally have nothing else to do. It used to be nothing else to do, so let's put massive amounts of effort to this thing. Now it's just nothing else to do, so I'm just doing the bare minimum.
Cruises TV, you overdid it too much.
Well, no, nothing progressed. I have all of this junk, like as I said, like all of these thousands of things. This is just the stuff on my website. I have like 5 times as many projects not on here. And then the stuff that's hidden away that isn't on the main page, which this used to be a lot more. I cleaned it up. I only cleaned up games, though I haven't cleaned up the other ones.
Cruises TV, I think you need to organize or either dedicate X amount of hours into it, otherwise you just burn yourself and it gets boring to the point you don't want to do it.
Well, it's not as boring,
Oh.
It's just I know everything about it. I'm not gaining anything from it anymore.
It's not junk, it's projects that gave you experience.
Yeah, but what have I gained from that experience? That's the problem. Like, I spent all these years on all these projects, gaining all of this experience that nobody gives a damn about. I can't get a job doing this. I can't get anybody to pay me to do any of this for them. I can't get anybody...
NPM, there is a delay in text messaging here.
Yeah. Like, I can't get anybody to pay me for what I've done because nothing looks any good towards the modern standards and things. So I can't sell any of this.
Bro, you know some hardcore stuff.
Yeah, but I can't do anything with it that anybody will care about.
Let me ask you something.
Wow. I wonder if this still works. My first GPU project. Oh, weird. Does this work? No. Can't use skip buttons. Ah, I'm out of water.
Cruises TV, what you want to do in programming area? Job-wise? Front-end, back-end, or full stack? Cause I feel like you HBE knowledge to get a job and easily make 100K a year, bro.
No. I just want to make games, really. It's all I ever wanted to do. Games about everything, about anything. Games that aren't generic. Like, not just a generic shooter. It's like, the programming was supposed to be a way to learn about other things I wanted to do, because, like, my original purpose for the whole thing, I am absolutely terrible at learning stuff that I have no use for. So I pretty much fail everything in school. That was more because I didn't actually really go because of a sleep problem. But yeah, so like if I wanted to do, I always wanted to do like chemistry and stuff like that, physics things, all of this sort of stuff like that. But I don't actually have a real world use for it, so I don't remember anything. And if I don't remember anything, I don't really learn anything. So with programming, I would have an active use for everything. I want to learn chemistry, then sure, make a game about chemistry. While learning chemistry, I'm using those actively to create this project, which then can also be something other people can do things with, I guess. I don't know. So I had many game ideas for all sorts of stuff I could do with that, you know, but yeah. So it was just my gateway into everything else. It's like, it's more of the byproduct or something. I don't know. So yeah, games and things like that are more of the byproduct of learning the things that I'm wanting to do. And then I just, like, because making a game engine was sort of, well, making a game was one thing I always wanted to do, as well as making realistic, like photorealistic renderings of gems. I always like crystals and gems and stuff like that. So I sort of combined the two, because I was originally messing around with 3D and Blender and all that sort of stuff, but there's a limit to how realistic you can make gems and things, because ray trace rendering just simply does not do those calculations, unless it's a very, very expensive, extremely specialized program. Also, I just wanted to make a game engine. When I started programming, a game engine was one of my goals. A game engine that is at least the quality of a PlayStation 1 with a game like Spyro was what I wanted to create. Which, you know, I have the game engine, but I cannot make the game because art and UI. Later a problem that I discovered I have. Anyway, what was I going on about? I don't even know. So, yeah, I can't really get a job in this whole thing because my knowledge is very specialized towards JavaScript. And that's it. So, yeah, I also do not like using other people's code. I really hate it. I've never worked with anybody, so maybe that would be different, but I don't know. My skill set's too broken. No?
Cruises TV. Okay.
Like, I didn't go to college or anything else like that to learn. Uh-oh. Yeah, I didn't go to college or anything else like that to learn, so I got like a very broken knowledge of what's what. Like, I know what things are, but if you call them by what they're called in the industry, I would have absolutely no damn clue what I'm talking about. And then they're just sort of, everybody just sort of stares at you like, what? How do you not know this very basic thing? And I'll be like, I probably do, I just don't know what it's called. You know, I could build a game engine from the ground up with ray trace rendering in real time. I'm sure I have the knowledge of whatever you're talking about, I just don't know what it's called. That really slows down development, probably. Never figured out why this distorts like that, though. I can only assume rounding errors. It's too smooth. I don't know, stuff like that. So, yeah, anybody who wants, like...
Cruises TV. If you like JavaScript, you should look into front-end or back-end. You can use Node.js that uses JavaScript for back-end. You can write servers and REST API. You got React and Vue for front-end frameworks. You can learn these in a week with your current knowledge and get a job real quick.
Or I could just straight up not use them because they're not required for anything. Node.js is nice, but I could just use PHP. That's one of the things that I did was... like, for messing around with server-side stuff. Battleships. So I created my own custom server that just uses PHP in a text file. Whatever. I was trying to get Node.js, but I have no clue how to get Node.js onto a server. I definitely do not do that much of a back-end thing. But yeah, so locating a challenger. If I just load this up as a second tab, then there we go, both connected. Why is that lower? I don't know. There you go, so I can play battleships. First thing you do is you place your boats. Chat's broken. What was the thing to make chat work again? I can't make things look good, generally. This is the best looking thing I ever created. Where's my text go? Doopy-doopy-doop. Cancel. Yeah. Yeah, this is the best looking thing I made. It took 3 months because any small game project's gonna take an absolute minimum of 3 months to create. But this was my last good project that I did because I had a plan, I knew what I was doing. I could just like bang bang bang, job done. Really, the longest, it took a couple of weeks just to render out these images and stuff, modeling it all up and things, trying different styles. It's all pre-rendered images in Blender, using old shaders that I created for like Lego bricks. I got this really nice plastic shader. Like, you know, I think it has like 300 images or some junk like that were made in it for all the different variations of different things. I was originally going to have pegs going under as well, but that was... yeah, no. Yeah, so you just see a peg and then it cuts off, although that one looks like it's a little lower than it should be, so you can see it like... You can see the peg going down here and then being cut off where that tile is. Yeah, that one's got a little bit of an overlap too. Weird. Anyway.
Cruises TV. Don't get discouraged. UI is actually improved with more projects. Just make simple web pages, no backend, just simple HTML and CSS, no framework, and learn the UI, UX, and if you want to get better, learn the typography and color theory. Stuff is easy.
Oh, no. I just simply could not do art. Like, the amount of time it takes me to improve ever so slightly in art is like 1,000 times longer than anybody else. Trust me, I've tried. I have spent years trying to develop my art skill. I even got like a drawing tablet. Like one of the games I was trying to create was a point-and-click adventure. I designed maps and puzzles. Well, I didn't really get around to the puzzles because that's really hard. I was trying to just design the map of it and model it up in 3D and render it and things like that, but the problem is I don't have the ideas. I can create it if I know what I'm creating. It's just trying to work out what I'm trying to create. That's what the problem is. Like, this was easy because it's battleships. I create the generic looking battleship thing. You have a bajillion pegs and things and the battleship's on its side and you know, the only things I really had to imagine was this stuff. Big old fire button, because battleships, why not? And it's just a light that flashes. Some of them actually do have a fire button on the side, so I probably didn't even have to imagine that. Yeah. But, like, the most... I didn't even know. It's just it. It's just simple. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so like you place your boats down, the fire button starts flashing, indicating that you press it. I'm on the attacking stage. Well, I know he doesn't have something there, so let's go there, file. So now it's waiting, because this player hasn't finished his thing, so I finished my setup. So it's changing a mode. It's got a whole lot of, like, as I said, there's a service stuff going on as well. Which is, yeah, whatever. I'll have this guy hit the boat, so D2. I know that'll be a hit and that'll be a miss, so file. And then both moves happen at the same time. It's supposed to have sound effects, but I've muted it because it's really loud and I don't have volume controls. Yeah, you can see I've missed and I've been hit. I don't have the miss pins going into here because it's really high up, isn't it? Yeah, I don't have the miss pins happening because each pin in each boat position is a unique texture. And the boats can be in one of two orientations, so that's why it has a gajillion images with this thing. Because say I was to hit the front of the submarine there at 8D, and place somewhere random. Yeah, it's got that little cutout part. So this image is technically on top of the boat, but it has to have that cutout part on the image of that particular peg. So if something hits there, it knows exactly what image to put here. Oh my god, that took so damn long. I had to Photoshop every single image, compressing it all down, doing little touch-up things, not to mention render them off in the first place. It's like I literally just had like a 3D scene, I put the boat there, I put the thingy there, I rendered it out in a way that just makes alpha everywhere the peg isn't. Oh man. Took so damn long. But yeah, it's all server-side stuff. I designed it in a way where both players can lose as well. I have a flowchart somewhere if you wanted to see the general idea of what was going on in the server. It'll take me a while to find it though. I've got sheets that I don't want to show off, so let's just go there. Why does it go to about? Okay. I don't actually know how to get here, okay. Wonder if I named it. Oh, this is just everything I've ever clicked on, isn't it? Where's my stuff? Did I quit it? Yeah, Battleship's still going. So if I quit that tab, this will actually detect that it was quit. It pings the server every now and again to let it know that things are happening. Let me just try to get to my thing. Yeah, there it goes. So the other player left. I was originally going to have a connecting system, but yeah, try to design the UI for that goes the same way any UI I try to design goes. How long ago was that? Spaceships? I don't think this is ordered very weirdly. Sort by last modified? I just have a bajillion untitled spreadsheets. Yeah, this is very confusing. Everything seems to be out of order. What? Chat's still not making sounds? What do I mean about what? Hang on a second. That should fix it. It's always done in the past.
Chat started.
Oh yeah. Originally I was doing, as you said, YouTube tutorial-y things. Basics on how to code and really simple, easy videos that seemed to be well better, I thought, than anything else, because I did a year's worth of website design and development to get into a college for game design development, which ended up just being a big money-hungry, steely thing, which was absolute trash, and I now owe them large amounts of money. Even though I failed the first term because of a technical problem because the principal was trash. Somehow convinced all the teachers not to help students. Yeah, literally. Got called out on it, and then all the teachers were like, "What? But you told us not to do that." And I was like, "Well, obviously it helped the students." And I'm like, "Oh great, so I can repeat the year without having to pay extra, or better yet, just pass, because everything was actually technically fine." He's like, "Oh no, you gotta do it again." Bruh. Yeah, so anyway, I could teach that entire year in about a week, easy. So originally I had all these course type things I was gonna do. I was planning out tutorials. I was trying to do, like, teach people for free online just to get some practice, work out my curriculum, all that sort of stuff. But yeah, that didn't go very well at all. It's much better doing one-on-one sort of things because I can see people's reactions and help them where necessary. Back before I streamed gajillion hours of stuff and now can't tell human expression. So I just over-explain literally everything. Never used to do that back then. But yeah, everybody just sort of didn't care, and they were there because they like, oh, it's a cool deal, so they turn up, and then yeah, I very quickly learned to ask questions as I tell people things. Because they're just like, oh, what? What are you talking about? I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. It's like, dude, I just explained everything to you for 3 hours straight. I assumed you were paying attention. And they're like, nah, just played a game. Like, okay, get out of here. Happened with literally every single person. Except for one. But yeah, generally they already knew everything I was trying to teach them. Which was the point. It's for people who hadn't coded before.
Cruises TV. I think there needs to be a structure to something you're explaining, you know?
Yeah, I should have flowchart things of that stuff here somewhere as well. I was just trying to think of where it could even be. I seem to be missing a whole lot of stuff. I'm very confused about what I'm seeing. 5-minute code theory, that was another thing I was going to do. I can see that here, so open that up. Why is this an image?
Cruises TV, also real-life metaphors.
I am confused. Maybe that's why nothing seems to be right? Oh. Yeah. Somewhere around here... Oh, can I change just the images? Oh, that's handy.
Cruises TV, vehicle as objects, you know. I learned it pretty quick with real-life examples.
Yeah. I got so many of these flowcharts just absolutely everywhere.
Plus Honda extends vehicle entered code. You know.
Oh, yeah, that generic thing. W3 schools, that's where I learnt, basically. I knew more than the teacher within the first week. And then it didn't get... That was that sort of a thing.
Haha, yes.
Yeah, some of these have extra tabs. That's what confuses me. The factory game. Sky City was the Sky Island one. Spaceship one, Ralph Spaceship. I got hundreds of games I've done. A lot of these things have more stuff, which you just don't see. I think that should be Battleship. Yeah.
Cruises TV, you also.
Awesome. Alright.
This website here I think you'd appreciate for more JavaScript stuff.
Yes, I just teach myself, really.
JavaScript.info is solid, legit website, highly recommend.
This is not what I clicked on. I am very confused. Huh? That is not what the picture shows. How do I open this junk?
Cruises TV. Try to save it, maybe it will work.
Yeah, imagine. Like, it's not here, there's no other pages. Like, this is just a template file. Why don't I see any of the images? Like, does that one open? Yep. Weird. I don't get why I can't see any of them. That's really annoying. Ugh. Oh, let me move to the other thing. I can see the picture, but that's as far as it'll take me. Right, where was it from now on? 1, 2... Okay, it's the one before Untitled Site, whatever that's supposed to be. Nope, this is different. That's Blackjack in this one. And it's sorted by the same thing. That's confusing. I don't know, let's open this one. Yeah, so this is one tutorial thing I was thinking about doing, 5-minute code theory, which, whatever. The point of it was to create a 5-minute video that talks about the theory behind some sort of a programming thing. So this was just a block out of different stuff. So JavaScript, I would just talk about syntax things, syntax stuff, syntax examples, blah blah blah, 5 minutes, ranting as fast as I possibly can, blam blam blam. Variables, booleans, blah blah blah, all the different types of variables. So each thing would have its own sort of episode that I just do that. I have examples of stuff and things. Again, the problem is I can't make it look any good, so you're just looking at, you know, that. And then I'm just going through basically line by line, which was a bit annoying because basically it's just, I'm just reading through what would or should just be comments on the end of the lines, except I'm talking instead of reading. Whatever. I'm just, you know, it's like a audio book, but of a tutorial image. Yeah, and then I would say more extra stuff like, you know, the way I do pathfinding, which should be in here somewhere rather. Pathfinding, yeah. So I would explain the code of how I did pathfinding, basic ways it worked, what possibilities you have for using it. So, you know, moving characters around the screen, flowing items past a path, you know, through a path or some sort of a thing, like conveyor belts, I don't know. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that's an idea for that. Yeah, I was trying to think of different formats of doing it, so flowcharty sort of ways, or just by literally showing the code of it, writing the code, which there's not really, it's much faster if I don't write it and it's just already there and I just talk through it. I don't know. But the problem with all that stuff was I am very bad at making tutorials, like recording the tutorials. Something will always go wrong, and then you repeat the same thing a gajillion times, then you finally are doing a perfect take, but then you forget what you've said. Like, did I say this just then, or did I say it last time, you know? One of the many last times. So then you got to take a couple of days break, which is really annoying. And then by the end of it, I've made so many mistakes constantly, I've basically got a 5-hour video, which I got to narrow back down to 5 minutes. And I built an add-on and things to do it automatically. Blender. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, so originally, when I was doing my programming stuff, it's 5th function because 101 is the beginner class, 101 in binary is 5, and then function because programming. But it makes more sense. That's the first class. It's the function of the first class, which is 5th. Anyway, I didn't think about that till much later on for some reason. Yeah, 5th function. 101 in binary and function. Yeah. Nice if it could show me what I was looking at.
Cruises TV. Hey man.
Hello. Wait, who are you? Oh, it's you. Okay. I thought it was somebody completely different then who usually pops in and out randomly. It's just that TV part.
I'm gonna head to bed. It's kinda late here, but it was fun talking with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, haha.
I can't seem to figure out where that server thing is. It's really cool, I like it, because it's like this big crazy map thing. All I can show was a very small picture. Until I want to see the very small picture, and then it doesn't show me anything. That's a spreadsheet. I don't want to open the spreadsheets. It looks really nice. It's incomplete though, it's wrong. But yeah, I've got no damn clue how to open from here. I don't suppose anything else just goes to that same page. Not going anywhere now, is it? Oh, no, it goes. Have to double click? There we go. Yeah. Oh, that one opened? What the heck?
Cruises TV. Listen, just take a break from this, recollect your thoughts, and work on something you want to work on. Don't worry about the job, an opportunity will come along, just onward.
Yeah, I've done that
Don't
for
stop,
years
bro.
now.
Okay,
That doesn't
I'm going
work
to bed.
anymore.
You have a good one, bro.
Art New Eyes, where my project's gotta die. As I said, I've literally got thousands. This is just the stuff since I switched to this Draw.io thingy. I have a heck of a lot more of these where I used to make in Visio, and then there was some other program before that. So, yeah, I have literally thousands of this stuff. It's just all... Oh. Yeah, it's I'm thinking maybe something errored on the file. And it won't load it, so it just goes to that weird template thing. Or trying to open it through this made it error. Like, I can't even rename it. Can I? Oh, maybe I can. Rename. I really gotta go through and rename all of these things just in general. If I do that, I should now be able to just open from here. It'll be the very top of the bill. There we go. Bruh. Not cool, man. Not cool. What's happening here? Where's my file? Ah. That would be extraordinarily annoying if this seems to be what it's doing. Hey, battleships! Oh. I knew I named it. Better not do that thing. Don't you dare. Hey, there you go. If it's allowed to be there, that's the best I could do for designing a UI for the main thing. So you had like an ID that was randomly generated, that was how many people are online, you could quick play to join one of those people, or you could join a game by typing in their ID, which a little box would pop up. And then I think I did this. So you could just type in the ID to join game, or you could just press quick play. And then that's the mess of what goes on the server when you do anything. So, yeah. It's not quite right. That's all the steps of what happens in the game to set up the game, all the decisions and stuff. Every time there's a server thing, it just jumps over here and does stuff according to stuff. But a lot of those changed, and it would display on your opponent's screen where they're currently at if you're waiting and things. So yeah, you would ping the server every few seconds because I would have to do that. And then while you ping the server, you can package all the rest of the information you have up with that. So when you've placed your pin and you go to do your move, it would record that information and then ping it to the server. But you're gone. I think I'm just gonna mess around with this then. Can't be bothered doing stuff now. No clue what this stuff is. Yeah, no clue what any of this junk is. Let's just move everything over there. Except for that. How do I get this thing? Oh, I guess I can just... Oh. Oh boy. Yeah, I remember that. That was just screenshots of spam that used to go into my group when people didn't believe stuff like that would be going into the groups. Ah, damn it, I clicked it again! I had to click on that one. Nobody saw anything. No reason to ban me. I used to get so much of that stuff back in the day. Oh man. Most of it was much, much worse, and it involved kids. That was the wild days before everyone would just get zacked. So that could sort of just be deleted. Rename. Open file. Maybe. Okay. Huh. Thought about this song. There is multiple things to play this song. Wow. Oh. I feel like I should open these things, because some of them have extra pages with completely different projects in them. Oh, it seems fine. Very basic, but whatever. How did I make that? So this would be the beginning of the blackjack days when I started gambling. Coin. Oh, it's my Bitcoin thing. So I'll get training data, train with the data, get extra data, then it goes back to training with data. Otherwise it'll wait for new data while deciding what to do, and then wait for new data to decide what to do. So yeah, that was pre-doing it with data of past events one at a time as if it was current, until it catches up to the current data, and then it would just loop that to the current data. So it doesn't decide what to do until it's up to date. Did I delete that? I feel like I should just leave it, because history. It slowly gets forgotten to time. I wonder if that still works. I'm always getting errors about it failing my emails. Hey, yay. Nice to how many people actually filled this thing out. I feel like I should create a new one. Like, it was a great idea. I really hope somebody would donate, but nobody ever did. Oh, wait. What? I didn't say edit, I said more. What? Whatever. So 236 people filled this out. I could have sworn I had a donate button on this at one point. I guess I didn't put it on this thing directly. Anyway, the idea was there was a group indie game developers on Facebook, and yeah, you fill out a survey thing, and it will add you to the map. Must put your name first, okay. Oh, that's where my donate button was. I am but a humble member. Yeah, so you just submit that, and then some amount of time later, a marker would appear. So I put Brisbane, there I am. Yeah, so I thought that would be cool. Help people connect and stuff. And it was really popular for about a week, and then it just disappeared and nobody cared about it. I was hoping it might get like integrated into the group itself, like, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if this is helping. Gotta get a drink for that. Back. Doing thing. That's my UI design. Oh. Oh yeah, the different tech trees. The levels of... Life used to be so nice. So happy back then. I'm constantly unreasonably happy. And I knew it. I just didn't know why. And then I found out. This was... what was this game called again? Why is Steam trying to download stuff? No. Risk of Rain. I was doing a game study on Risk of Rain by working out its flowchart. You survive by gaining money, which you can get from killing or looting. You get stronger to money to by converting money to loot in random boxes or 1 out of 3 choices. Random boxes which have a low, high, and low, medium, and high price. And you get stronger by leveling up. You survive... Who survives? Your character. You survive by attacking. Attacks can be modified with items. And your attacks main, secondary, alt, secondary, which some things have. Charge attack, miss thing, just in case, and items that attack for you. Your character has movement. Whatever. Movement could be modified by items. Survive against mobs. Time modifies them, I guess, to be stronger and more of them. Time also increases loot prices and kill value, so you get more money from killing them. And time also goes towards the end, and the end is a boss. Wait. Oh yeah. While you're fighting the boss, you're waiting for the next level, which has a time jump, and then you're back to surviving again. And then I was trying to like plan out what the different modifiers are. The modifiers can modify modifiers, attack, defense, and movement. I don't know. I sort of gave up at that point because I wasn't gaining anything from this. I do like the layout though. It is fairly easy to understand. I got quite obsessed about flowcharts. Okay. What do you think? What are you? Oh, I think I see. This was creating the GPU-based computer or operating system. Thought about that being a thing. potentially flawed. God, that's gonna have anything hidden in it. Oh, this looks so pretty. Game that's like the game Raft, but in space. And like it. Not it. Oh, I was muted all this time for a second there.
In most people's everyday life, the computer isn't much more than a very fast adding machine. It tends to send you bills. But it is very much more than that. The modern world could not function without computers because they operate everything from production lines to telephone exchanges to traffic systems to international finance. But the main reason why computers matter to you and me in our future is because they have
Yeah, I'm thinking, why did I stop this one again?
anything they're
Same
told.
reason I stop literally every project I do.
What kind of data say you have to give somebody if you want a bank account or credit, or to be able to vote or buy a house, or if you've been accused of a crime? And that's why computers contain the future within them.
It has a chance of having more to it.
Tell a computer everything about a group of people. It'll juggle the mix and come up with the one factor that is most likely to affect the decision that group will make about something, one way or the other. Knowing that is knowing the future. And that is power.
I finished this area. Yes. By a lot. What should I get? 43% increase. Okay. These slow doing nothing things are pointless. I'll have to go to a different area. Oh, everything's easier now apparently. Well, I wasn't. What the modifier was in this one. Okay. Oh, okay. This actually makes it easier. Quicker. Oh yeah, is there any new stuff today? Okay, that's a lot of messages. Wow, a lot of new stuff. Okay. Hi. Okay. Finally. I already got this one as well. Happen there? That's why I saw something happen over here. Oh, there's more. Every type of game defined as a flowchart is the idea. Competitive, cooperative, or is there I feel like there should be another one. Whatever. So basically you could just pick a thing from each of the lists or whatever, and then do stuff accordingly. I guess that was supposed to be of a game. I remember having more in it. Guess I never did write down what the story was, did I? Well, it sucks. Should have written down a timeline. What? Okay. That's right. I guess that started after the Universal game. Something here had more in it. Probably just that one, really. I like the idea of that. Oh, it's so weird, all the flashbacks of memories and emotions at the time. Such happy funness. Sitting in a room like I am now, just talking to myself. Nothing's changed, but everything's different. AI. Wait, the other ones have been named as well, right? I haven't just been clicking on them. Yeah. Isn't that just piping it? Right. I guess I then saved it with a name. No, it's another one of those ones, okay. I guess it's what I created a temporary template file after messing with an already existing thing, and it just used the same image because I didn't mess with anything here for it to update. So I'd probably just use the last image, or the image that was stored from the previous update, which was a different file. Things I could work on. I feel like that one just should stay as an untitled. Make sure it's not bugged. Yep. It's a game idea, if I was wanting to make a factory game. Big food, that'll do. Flowchart of my Acto machine. I feel like that one's not needed. I should delete it, but I don't like deleting things. I really wonder what clock is, but I don't want to be clicking on anything here that isn't those things. And the only other thing that would be cool would just be to remake that. No way something like that would get into this group now. It's back in 2015, 6 years ago I made that. 6 damn years ago. No clue what this is supposed to be. No clue. Computers. What in the world does that have access to? Nothing. Good. Oh, there you go. All my flowcharts in one place. I thought I had more. A lot more. Yeah, I got like 30 files or something or other on my computer. I don't know. Ugh, so dead again. Really wanted to have something working by now. All that distraction. Well, I got a plan at the very least of what I should do next. 3 hours to do, like, not even just 2 comments. That's all I've done. Yeah. You do it? I don't get the gauge to go down anymore. Used to be every time we did that, the gauge would go down. But that's the point. I don't know how to make that happen anymore. Maybe he needs to be in the middle? I mean, really, he should need to be on the front. He gets less on the front. I don't know. I think I gotta go. Watch a movie or something. I don't know. Convince a friend to buy a game for me. Sure he'll be up for that. Maybe I'll be back on later. I don't know.